Nigeria and Ethiopia signed prisoner transfer deal, sparking inmate joy in Ethiopian prison. As you have seen, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Bianca Odumegwu-Ojukwu, she visited the prison in Ethiopia, and Nigerian inmates there, they were jubilant, they were celebrating. In a significant humanitarian and diplomatic milestone, Nigeria and Ethiopia have signed a bilateral transfer of sentenced persons agreement, enabling over 100 Nigerian inmates to serve the remainder of their prison terms in their home country. Nigeria's Minister of Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Bianca Odumegwu-Ojukwu, visited AbaSamuel Prisons in Addis Ababa on Saturday to personally deliver the news to the inmates, many of whom erupted in celebration, as you have seen in the video. Upon hearing the announcement, the agreement was signed earlier in the week in Addis Ababa by Nigeria's Attorney General and Minister of Justice, Prince Lateef Fagbemi, and his Ethiopian counterpart, with facilitation from the foreign ministers of both nations. The deal comes amid growing concerns over the conditions faced by Nigerian prisoners in Ethiopian facilities, particularly Kality and AbaSamuel prisons. More than 100 Nigerians, including 4 women, are currently incarcerated there, with many convicted on drug-related offenses. During the prolonged negotiations, judicial vetting and ratification process, process, 4 Nigerian inmates reportedly died, while several others fell critically ill. Officials on the Nigerian side emphasized the urgency of the agreement to prevent further loss of life and provide better access to family support and medical care. Bianca Odumegwu-Ojukwu, who traveled with Fagbemi and other officials, highlighted the agreement's focus on humanity, justice, and rehabilitation. By this legal framework, she said, sentenced persons who are nationals of either country may, subject to agreed conditions and applicable laws, be transferred to their home country to serve the remainder of their sentences. She stated, both nations have agreed to immediate implementation of this agreement. So, this is coming from Ethiopia. The Nigerian government signed an agreement with the government of Ethiopia, to transfer over 100 Nigerian prisoners that are currently languishing in the Ethiopian prison. Namely the Kality prisons and the AbaSamuel prison in Ethiopia, back to Nigeria. So the prisoners of Ethiopians indigenous in Nigeria will be repatriated back to Ethiopia to go and serve their prison term. Nigerians in Ethiopia will, move back to Nigeria to serve their prison term. It was done on June 10. The agreement was reached, and it was signed yesterday. It was signed. The Minister of Foreign Affairs was in Ethiopia yesterday. This is what she wrote on her Twitter handle. Done and dusted. Here at Ethiopia's Ministry of Foreign Affairs, we signed a landmark agreement that will allow sentenced citizens of either country, Nigeria or Ethiopia, to return to their home nation to serve the remainder of their prison terms. Minister of Foreign Affairs of Ethiopia, H.E. Gideon Timotheus, and myself both acknowledge this as a major milestone, making a major step in consular cooperation and humanitarian justice between our two nations. The AGF and Minister of Justice Nigeria, Prince Lateef Fagbemi, and Ethiopia's Justice Minister Hannah both appended their signatures on the transfer of sentenced persons agreement in the presence of senior officials from both governments. So, it was to me is a good move, good move. Then I think she was able to visit the prison today. This is the AbaSamuel prison. Ethiopians have 2 major prisons where Nigerians are, imprisoned: Kality prison and the Aba prison. So she was at the Aba prison. She said, exhilarating moment when I visited the AbaSamuel prisons at Addis Ababa to break the news to our boys that they will soon be returning home for service of the remainder of their prison terms as a result of the prisoner transfer agreement Nigeria had just signed with the government of the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia. Renewed joy, renewed hope. According to her, she said, Nigeria has already lost 4 of the inmates, and several others are critically ill and need better care and medical assistance. This prison transfer, according to the agreement, according to the Minister of Foreign Affairs, with the government of Ethiopia is a landmark under the citizen diplomacy imperative of the renewed hope agenda. The President of the Republic of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, remains committed to the welfare and protection of Nigerian citizens abroad. So the atmosphere, according to Bianca Odumegwu-Ojukwu, was absolutely electric. Our incarcerated nationals were ecstatic, happiness renewed, hope renewed. So they were just celebrating. They were very happy, you know. I think it's high time for Nigerians to just stop these crimes abroad. It's getting out of hand. Look at the numbers. What are they doing in Ethiopia? Look. So many of them. So many of them. Over 100.